Hey everybody, it's been a while since we've played Lancer with this group. Well, with Lancer period, because I don't play Lancer with any other group. La da 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 da. I think that's everything. Yes. Okay.
Everybody's sitting up. I guess I could always use my downtime option to give a Rosemary a thing. I am missing charge slash.
You gonna stop upgrading your child?
After this one, well, yeah, because that's the last Ronin can get his charge slash.
Your child who can only become so powerful.
Just throw another template on there. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Our boy does good.
That cat Faye.
Oh, and today's Sleepless Domain update, one of the characters went to a cat cafe and it was called the cafe.
Ah, dang, I'm so behind on everything.
Mary updates that comic with there's no schedule. It's when she's done, which is often. I guess I worked on this from like midnight to 4 a.m. and now I'm uploading it.
Tuesday and Thursday with quotes.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
At some point, I should resync everybody else, because Bryn is the only character who has the little remote pilot symbol next to their names.
Did you get my new thingy?
Yes. I said you're the only one, so I got your new thing, and now you're fancy and connected to the vault and all that.
Wow.
I'm very tired, and I'll try to figure out how to do it, but like I changed my sheet so much, because I'm always trying out new dumb things. So yeah.
Just tossing my my code out there.
Gotcha. Copy.
I want to be your sledgehammer. I can't believe I forgot that Brawler 2 was called Sledgehammer. I also forgot that Vanguard 2 just lets you ignore soft and hard cover within range 3 for CQB weapons.
Yeah, it's great.
Punch through it.
I have nothing but CQB weapons right now. And it acts in everything. As long as you're within range. Great.
Love ignoring rules.
You just have to be on top of them to do it, which requires you to actually open yourself up to melee reprisal, but that's very fun.
Range 3 is fine. That's several squares away. And what if that's 3 squares in the air? Ha!
Overwatch.
I can fly basically forever because I can just like shoot pure rod of shit.
So glad.
What's that? I got too much heat. Thunk. Now I don't.
So glad
I can do his reaction.
It's done. So, was there anything that we needed to leave off with last session, or did we close up pretty well? It's been a bit, and my brain is pretty fucked.
I don't know. I went to bed immediately because I had to like get up super early, go to the airport after that. So I don't remember.
Yeah. We'll definitely need the recap. Let's see. We were on. I think we finished up on that planet we were on.
We did.
Yes.
We had arrived on a planet. We did a little mission where we helped the local boys fight off an incursion of basically Harrison Armory funded privateers. who turned out to be a lot less scary than we were worried they might be. And everyone survived, and they all looked cool in the bargain. They all got to feel like they were superheroes, so we did okay. Also, we got some confirmation that they had, like, literally an old thing from a colony ship on their planet.
They're just using a
That we
radio.
fixed. Yeah.
It was not a radio, but they were using it as one.
Yep. I guess that'll be my main thing, is just getting that info over to Lionel and maybe somebody at Common Front.
Lionel, as usual, shoot a brick.
Yeah. I think both Lionel and Rhea have matchmakers, so it's pretty easy to get that stuff to them. But yeah.
Can you please add my mech to the game?
Okay,
I'm not GM.
give me
otherwise
one sec.
I rejoined as a player, so I can't.
Yeah, just give me a few minutes. We're very casual tonight anyway.
Oh yeah,
so.
it's a downtime session, so that's
Alright,
no
open
rush.
the original. Save as. Bloodwing. Alright, let's see. No, not from that. From.
I figured out why I wasn't able to pull things over, by the way. You have to pull the name, not the image. So I figured it out.
Yes.
We did it.
You can also drag the image from the sheet. But there's a little there's like a little square you can grab and drag that out.
You know, I figured out my way. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I'm getting ready to get in character. Quinn's got the big feelings.
Oh, I could have done this myself. I have access. Sorry.
Nerd.
I'm just now realizing.
Yeah.
Okay,
could
good.
edit
'Cause
my-
it's
Nerd.
taking me a weirdly long time
Nerd.
to get this.
Actually, I'm gonna hit the
Some-
bathroom very quickly. And then
Gotcha.
when I get back, hopefully we'll get to start. Don't
I
forget,
got you.
we are literally
okay, sorry.
fucking streaming.
No
Be
worries.
right back.
But what if we're figuratively streaming?
I mean, maybe. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. It's very open to interpretation.
Hello.
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Man,
Well, I was going to say fine, but then I almost choked on a peppermint.
Oh no.
So now I'm no longer doing fine and I'm instead sad.
I want a peppermint.
now you just got a bad case of mint throat.
Peppermint! Supposed to land on your desk, I'm sorry. Dude, what just happened? Alice said I want a peppermint idly, not actually wanting one incessantly. I opened the door, tried to toss a peppermint to her. It bounced off her desk and then landed off to the side. So I had to go diving for the peppermints.
No.
Pathetic peppermint stunted cheese.
Basically, yes.
What did I walk back to?
Cass threw me a
Saga
peppermint and
peppermint.
completely missed.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So we're heading back onto the Adalith and the Alice Lynn from this mission. And Quinn looks upset and frustrated. And
You know what? I don't feel like Isadora's often the one to approach this situation, so she'll go up to Quinn and say, "Okay, how you holding up?"
I don't know how I'm holding up, but I'm worried about how they'll hold up. She gestures to these kids who have been completely isolated from everything and have no idea what the state of the universe is in. Like, what state the universe is in right now. I'm not sure it's right to leave them in the dark about it. Because there is a non-zero chance that the hell out there will make it to them.
Well, here's the thing.
I did mention it to them. Like, wasn't
Well,
hiding it.
You've not been outside Overture, Quinn, so let me just tell you, from experience, these things just kind of happen. It's amazing that Overture is as connected as it is, because planets not within Union space can be a lot like this, to varying degrees. Now, of course, you do raise a point. That can be a problem. That's the sort of attitude that, well, Harrison Armory likes to take advantage of, as they did here. But here's the thing. All we can do is let them be and try to take care of the situation by ourselves. Because in order to actually help them, we need to change their society in ways that, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know how to go about touching that sort of thing. It just probably isn't a surprise to you, but that is just sort of the thing that either experts have to do, or they just have to develop on their own. But the good news is, we're in a unique position compared to just about any Diasporan world outside of Overture. Normally, there isn't anything you can do about Harrison Armory. They're big, they get places quickly, and they take over quickly. In Overture, they're flailing.
I was left in the dark for a very long time. Lied to for a very long time. And I didn't believe the people telling me the truth until far too late. And now I'm like this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Quinn, like they're just isolated, and like we fixed their radio, so at least they can like talk to people now, and they can get updated over time, right? And then what happens.
Would Quinn be interested in trying to ascertain just how much they know about what's going on?
Yeah, Quinn wants to know how, like, what happened to Dinhark doesn't happen to these people. some fuckers don't sweep in here and eradicate all of them and enslave the people who are left. That's not something Quinn would like for these kids.
I mean, you say kids, but it's like a whole society. It's like other people,
Yeah.
like the old people
Society,
here.
yeah.
Would she be subtle about figuring that out, or would she like start asking, "Have you heard of X, Y, or Z?"
I mean, Quinn. There was a time when Quinn could be more subtle.
Yeah.
And she lapses in between knowing that maybe this is something you should not be so overt about, and just being very Lyra about this. So
if she tries to figure out, like, we know and don't know, and maybe impress upon them the seriousness of what's going on in the galaxy, an overture, which I don't remember if it's actually in its own or not, but whatever. So they actually were sent a message about the fact that the war had begun, but their context for it is odd. The front has gone to war before. It's had lots of small localized wars with regional warlords or pirate kings or whatnot. The idea of like the full total mechanized war, that is industrialized war, that is happening right now is kind of beyond them. But they are cognizant of they are cognizant of the idea that the galaxy beyond their planets can be pretty precarious. They'll actually tell you that they have actually had to fight off an invasion before. About a like 50, 60 years war, a generation or two ago. This whole planet was conquered by a warlord that the front actually cleared out, and they had a whole revolt about it. So they're kind of cognizant of the idea that like that's out there. But they've just never heard of the actual players.
Yeah, simulations aren't real life, but do they have the technology here to run the program that Lyra made, that the Hex girls use from time to time to simulate combat?
Yes, actually, they have the simulators they have are pretty old, but they're old in kind of a lost tech way. This is old in an SLDF way, not old in like a rusting way. They have some old school SETCOM training, like a training that have been up and running for about several hundreds of years at this point, that no one remembers how they got them. They made a trade at some point, and they have they do have a militia of mechs. That is, it's not like hugely tons of them, but they have like basically about a couple of companies worth over the planet. They have a lot of entrenched positions where they shoot big, basically space guns. The problem is that they're made to shoot big ships and like pick off tiny raiders that are the size of like a school. So they haven't really been able to use because they're big enough to shoot them at.
Yeah. All right. For Quinn, it's really more a matter of she really does hope that the war never reaches these people, and they can be stay in peace for as long as possible. But she wants to prepare them, give them the tools necessary to defend themselves should the worst come to be. So she'll tap Null and bring Null over, and we'll roll Null's hack fix to upgrade these people's technology here and load up Lyra's thing. And give them a bunch of manuals for how to defend themselves. So, let's go. Null! Nicely done, Null! That's Null's hack fix.
Nice.
With Null's help, you can definitely not only upgrade their systems so that they're working with mech design and hardware. Like, their simulators are now working on, like, modern stuff instead of, like, mech design of like 600 years ago. Null's actually, with sort of that 19 there, with that success there, to say that Nola's able to kind of do a diagnostic of a lot of their defensive systems. While they work, they are pretty inefficient because it's like people are actively drilling with them, and Noel can actually figure out how to semi-automate a lot of their defensive grids so that worst comes to worst, there is like an action. There will be something there to pull the trigger, even if they are attacked by surprise.
Yeah, and that pleases Quinn. And additionally, Quinn will add just a bunch of things, not just on how to prepare for war, but how to live in peace. So, they have like all these like just fun, happy stories and documents for how to like anger management and conflict resolution and stuff like that. Just anything from the archives, just dump it on these people and wish them well.
Yeah, absolutely. They're really they'd be really happy to get. They don't have a lot of access to the wider archive because they're left alone, but they also kind of prefer to be at least somewhat isolated. But they are pretty happy to get their hands on new archive material. So anything that you can, anything that any of the crew gives them, actually, they'll happily take.
Yeah.
That is right up their alley.
What Quinn tells them is, again, she hopes that the war proper, the fuck of the universe, the galaxy proper never finds them. But now they'll be able to hopefully defend themselves better should it. The last thing she wants is more people turning out like she has. And she'll head into the Aetolith. And Noel will stand there like looking upset, but then follow her into the Aetolith. She thinks she has a responsibility to prepare, like, to teach people how to be their own rulers, right? She doesn't want to just jump in saving people anymore, but give people the tools to save themselves.
Yeah, it is. I mean, from her perspective, I mean, she's still 16, right? Or is she 17 now?
She'll be turning 17 here soon. She's still 16, but yeah.
She's still 16, and the world, everything she knows is on fire. The idea of a society that doesn't really know that a war is happening around it, and that it may one day be strategic, is a little spooky. Like, even with seeing their defensive stuff, and even knowing that they've dealt with this kind of thing before, I mean that's pretty spooky for her, probably.
Yeah. Quinn goes and crashes in the dining room over here. She'll be over here with her cat friend. Stop hogging the couch.
So I guess we head home.
Yeah.
Well, so,
Oh, I was muted the whole time. Hi. Bryn walks onto the ship with a big crate of bespoke liquor that he poured last time. And he's very pleased. His base the payment for the whole mission is this.
Just so you know, before you leave, the oldsters who give you that, they're very proud of it, and they also tout it as a miracle cure for just about everything, from illnesses to mechanical failure.
Bryn understands.
A good whiskey is, really the answer to everything.
Alright, I guess when we get back, Isadora will definitely snag some of that.
Yoink.
Grab a bit of that and then just go give the information to the few trustworthy people around. So I guess we probably gave like a basic mission report to the actual people we reported to, but Rhea's probably good for the fine details of, hey, this is where this planet's at, this is what I found out about him.
Rhea, so while this was sort of technically Corandir gave you the mission, it is technically kind of under her purview. she's actually surprised because she had no idea you were even doing that. She was not consulted. But yeah, she's actually heard of this place. It is kind of a legend in the sort of the militia cadres, the old school militia cadres. It's a legend for being one of the most backward places in the Union, but also kind of the most self-reliant place. It was the Union planet they found by accident, and every time that they've attempted to integrate them into the wider Union, their mysteriously breaks down after 20 years, and no one ever bothers to fix it. So they just kind of shrugged, and every now and then they use a master delivery system to send basically a care package every 10 years. It's like, okay, if they want to like help people, I guess they'll do it eventually. Shrug. But she's good on details wise. She is very concerned to hear about Harrison Armory arming malcontents in the Rim, because she had kind of been hoping that the failures of the Republic of the Sphere would have maybe spooked them into not doing shit like that, but apparently not.
All right, so, and then after that, should also relay the information to Lionel, who, for once, is actually just kind of happy. Like, this is actually just good news. There are people out there who are not, necessarily been through the same thing he has, and, they're not specifically part of the 10, but, like, they're from that same sort of frame, and, it's been a while since the Quiznos incident happened, but after that, still good to hear.
Quinn.
But also, there's not much he can actually do at the moment to, like, give any care packages because they're still dealing with Arena.
Quinn does tell him that they ran into Cinder. And they appear to be ruining her life.
God, that more or less just elicits just a slump. It's just like, I would that you could avoid them, but I don't think IPSN is going to let that happen.
Is there anything I could say to her to get her to stop making these choices?
No, last time I tried to say something to her was a while ago, and it didn't go particularly well.
Are we all a party to this conversation?
I figure this Isidore's just work
computer. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
I feel like it's the other way
double
around.
checking that that's the setup.
Quinn just fucking was walking by in the hallway and just saw her good friend Lionel and just slid in, and now everybody's just piling in.
Slides into DMs. Yeah. So Sylvia will just kind of like. Sylvia will just shrug and go like, "I'm going to be honest. Cinder seemed like a nice enough person and at least had her heart set on something she wanted more than anything. If she doesn't want to do the right thing, then no power on earth is going to convince her, and sometimes when people can't turn themselves away from that, you have to make a hard choice to punch them in the face."
That's the feeling I got when I talked to her.
Please just leave it at punching, okay, if you have to, but, like, the thing is, they do want to do the right thing. That's all they've ever did. It's just thing is ever good enough for them.
Well, I think that just incidentally, if we solve some other problems, then that may become easier, and then we don't have to worry about it so much.
Quinn toys with the dog tags around her neck, with like a dark expression on her face.
Ugh.
Well,
Too many
leave her to
people.
me.
Liberty. Well,
She's Liva's friend too. So if one of us is going to talk sense into her, it's going to.
no, I should. I should leave her to you. We've seen what happens when they're left to me.
You know, I didn't mean it like that, Quinn.
It doesn't change what it is. We'll do our best.
Oh,
Thank you. Just be gentle.
she'll
Or-
live.
Good. I like that confidence. As much as I can, anyway. I'm also getting a slight anxiety attack, but mostly I like that response.
Bryn. Wait, no, this is a screenwriter. Is he here, or are we just talking to him like on a monitor?
He's on a monitor,
Through
yeah.
a screen, but
Yeah.
you can absolutely just come into the room.
Yeah.
Everybody else is here. You can check out what everybody's doing.
Bryn's gonna hold up on this bottle, look and say, "I'm gonna send you this in the mail, I guess."
Finger guns.
One of the Nimish will take it over to him. One of the Nimish in the ships outside the Flavor Town can take it over to him.
I better give them two then, because they're probably gonna drink one.
Quinn just like sullenly goes back to crashing in the dining room.
Well, regardless, thank you for telling me about this colony. It seems rather delightful, and the good news is I think I have a plan for how to deal with Irina, but I'll just need a little more time. And
Alright.
he'll hang up. Now, my other question is, would this be interesting information to any of our contacts for deliverance of just... Would Svava necessarily care about this?
Svava,
Like, I
Svava's
feel like they'd think
mostly-
it's cool.
Yeah, Svava would
but-
find it cool, and her main interest would be making sure that they don't go hungry, right? That trade doesn't get caught off to them, and they don't just die in darkness. That would be her main thing, is just making sure that they get the supply and they have the stuff they need. But they've been carrying on like this on their own for a while, so she suspects
Yeah, like they
that...
don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
trade. It's a nice thing for them.
Yeah,
They're self-sufficient.
It sounds
so
like it sounds like they're pretty self-sufficient. So that's all Svava would want, is upon hearing this is that's really cool. And she would very much take it as a let's do what we can to keep the war away from these kids. She kind of takes succor at the knowledge that there's somebody out here in this universe that has not been touched by this shit. You know, maybe
Yeah.
you know, maybe it moralizes her. This has a moralizing effect on Svava, especially after losing, you know, her daughter.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, Isadora would relay that to her, even though, you know, probably the least important. You know, talk to the people who this falls under the purview of. Talk to Lionel because he needs something.
Mm-hmm. Svava does say that, you know, she's doing her best to try and keep Lionel's spirits up. So is Velius, but Velius's wife has gone out into the fray, and God be with anybody who comes across her. So, yeah. So that's the update
All
we
right,
get
I
from
guess
her.
that's just info relaying then.
Mm-hmm. I assume like Rhea is just like that's neat. I think that's what Alice already said. So yeah. And if Rhea just does the cue you thumbs up, that's rad, and then disconnects.
The only thing I have for a downtime action is just Isadora's gonna get back to work on fixing up the Rosemary, so I'm just gonna give the Rosemary Mark II the last Ronin system, which is Charge Slash. Don't know how much use I'll get out of it, but shrug. Might as well have it.
Add more modulators to it. It's fine. I'm proud of Coriander. Coriander's doing so good. Anybody else have any downtime actions? I gotta think about what I'm gonna be doing. I have to look at the downtime actions. It's been a while.
I'm not sure what it would be. I'm not sure what it would be considered under, but I know what Sylvia's going to attempt to do while we're, kind of waiting for the next mission to come in.
Mm-hmm.
So, once we establish that, it's going to be a little while before we get a call, bad guy here, go punch, Sylvia just kind of begins floating to the rest of the crew and anyone who wants to join her. Y'all want to go raiding?
I thought you would never ask.
And we do it tomorrow. I'm printing something.
Completely fine with that, but I'm talking. We'll bring a mech along, but we shouldn't need more than one. Really, it's just going to be us and the Alice Lynn and a couple of the sections in space where we've been fighting. There's probably a couple of leftover enemy shuttles, debris, parts. I need to get my head off of things, and back where I'm from, you have a big battle. To the victor go the spoils. So I thought we could grab some debris from the death site and build
salvaging, not raiding. I understand.
Oh no! There's a chance that there's enemy combatants still in the area. If we run into one of them, it's raiding.
But sure.
To be honest, if we buzz a deliverance satellite here and there along the way and blow it out in the sky, are they really going to complain?
Yes, but we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We could also trash a couple corporate satellites and such on our way by too, since they also suck.
Basically, I'm voting we flash anything that doesn't belong to one of our allies or some poor neutral sap, and just
all right. But we're painting the ship first, so it doesn't have our logo on it anymore.
Already taken care of.
Raise the Jolly Roger.
Yeah, Sylvia has literally painted over the. She's added on basically a swap out panel on the Alice Lynn where our logo is, and temporarily added on a different panel that just has a little fox face, a criminal, a little bandit mask on it. I don't really care if they know it's me, and to be honest, if they mistake it for my dad, that's actually convenient. Maybe if he starts booting with Deliverance, he'll do something useful once in his life.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to pass up a chance for scraps, so count me in.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Are we being gay and doing crimes? I'll keep a lookout over you.
Yeah, so Sylvia will just herd everyone who wants to come with her onto the Alice Lynn and jet to using a mildly circuitous route where the battle with the Death Scythe was, and we'll do whatever we want for salvaging and or raiding on the way.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna guess when they arrive at the wreckage of the Death Scythe, there's already a lot of clanners. Josephus probably brought some clanners over and some Nimish, and a couple of the Ashai that have been liberated are here, tearing this place apart. A couple of the other factions are probably here too, already scavenging it, but there's plenty to go around. This thing was huge.
Yeah.
It's kind of floating inert in space.
Yeah, well, so that's about what it looks like when we get there. That sounds like a fun place to scavenge. Yeah. So, I don't know how we want to play this event out. That's basically what I want to do.
I know how we could play this out.
Oh.
we just established there are clanners here,
Yep.
which means there's definitely a home ship nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even a couple if they have a moot. Have you done go diving yet, Cass?
I have not.
I think we should go diving.
Let's
All
go
right.
diving.
Because if anything is a seedy underbelly, it's got to be a clan moot. So I think we're both here for either useful context or connections or useful or aid. Or aid would probably work here, as if anyone's found anything or we can find anything. So I don't know about you. I think what Lyra wants is to try and salvage better targeting systems that she can put into the mech. Her, like, basically something that so she can, like, have a printer, like, be able to build it over and over again. The current ones are fine, but she really likes something that can give her a little bit of an edge. What's something that Sylvia would like to find in all of this wreckage?
So Sylvia's looking for one thing in particular, actually, which is she wants something of the remains of the Death Scythe's prow, if she can find it, because she's going to forge that into a new tip for her melee weapon.
Nice.
So I think she's looking for that, and she's also... The real thing she's looking for is for the group to kind of spend time together doing a mildly dangerous but mostly fun thing to kind of keep everyone's spirits up, and also, you know, not so secretly, like, this keeps everyone from dwelling on all of the crazy shit that's happening around us. It's just...
Oh, this is a fun table. I've already done my downtime, but I might roll anyway.
If anyone wants to go with
This
us,
is just her going, like...
Come on.
All right.
Let's get so occupied that, yeah.
So, everyone, you roll, if you want to do this with us, you roll a skill trigger. Roll a skill check, find if you have a applicable trigger for how you think you would do this, what you're wanting to find. Roll 1 and take from either... Roll ahead. If you get a 10 to 19, take from either table. If you roll a 2d20, choose one, and then pick the final result from either table.
So on a 20 up, we roll 2d20. On a 10 to 19, we roll 1. And on a 9 or lower, we re-roll 2. And we take 2 if we roll 2, if we roll a 9 or lower.
Yep. So let's do our initial rolls.
All right. Can I add pilot as skill trigger? I guess I would have some experience. Just like I'm rolling investigate, I'm trying to look through a ship's just scratched remains.
I'm rolling. Yeah, I'm rolling survive because this is very much Sylvia just kind of being the wilderness guide for the group.
Nice. 22. Unfortunately, it does not help me. It only gets me to 16.
I'm guessing,
I know how to do this shit.
like, charm...
So I get to roll.
Sorry, I'll let you finish. Sorry.
So I get to roll 2d20, and then pick one, and then pick a result from either table. All right, let's see. Let's see what those 2d20 are. So 19 and 20. Jeez. So I can pick either 19 or 20. Oh no! Yes! Yeah, I found the one I'm getting!
Oh no, what are you doing?
19 from the list of gains! A hanger on named Juicy K! They're a huge fan of you, not very cryptic, extremely knowledgeable on station gossip, current long-run pop culture, various creative uses of popular narcotics. Used to leave and past to generally believe in the two of your best
Well, I guess we got to find a pog for Juicy K now because they're just a permanent NPC.
Mm.
Juicy K has his own skiff, and it's always parked slightly right. It's always parked right next to where we are. And no matter what happens, even when it's impossible to do so, he somehow manages to always know exactly where we're going. He's convinced.
Actually, you know what? Can I take 2 here, because the other one is actually something that's mildly useful for the group. That's that's 20 from that same table, which I could pick. I want to pick Juicy K because it's funny, but that one seems like it could lead to a pretty neat little story beat.
Let me see Let me see what I roll. I got overall 16, so I think that's just roll 1d20 and choose one from either table.
Result from either the gain or lose table.
Okay.
Did that work? There, I got Juicy K. They're right there.
20. Okay, I can get it.
Isadora can find the thing.
Were you gonna roll one?
Juicy K.
Jennifer, were you gonna do one?
Yeah, I was waiting for everybody else. Before
Yeah,
I
so
did my
I
thing.
I rolled a 20, so I guess Isadora winds up being the one to find a thick pack of stripped data plating packed densely with incredibly sensitive information such as military schedules, personal financial records, etc. So I just find the motherlode of deliverance data.
That's good. That'll help us track down Miria. So yeah.
You know what I think happens here?
Ameliora,
I think
sorry.
Isadora and Sylvia both come on that. And I love it. Juicy K rolls up, starts talking in that uncomfortable way that people who don't know personal boundaries do. And Sylvia is the one who has to start deflecting them and go go ahead, I'll take one for the team here.
Go.
Go.
Right, so aside from that, what were you looking for the role? I didn't hear it.
So the first roll is a skill check.
Yes.
Applicable trigger. You always get what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But,
What was somebody looking for? That's what I was asking.
So you would go ahead and roll that, and then depending what you roll is which ones you.
No. I'm asking you, what was Sylvia looking for?
Oh, Sylvia found what she was looking for. She found part of the prow of the Death Scythe that she can kind of reshape into a tip for her weapon, because she was looking for trophies. Her primary goal was to get the rest of the group out here.
For viewers at home, by the way, I'm Ben Jenner who did this, who added the Juicy K Pog, which is Onk's human form from Kamen Rider O's.
So good.
Oh my god.
Do this.
So good.
He's here. He's in the hydroponic garden smoking all the weed, and we can't stop him.
Does-
Oh my
I love that you just were waiting quietly for someone to recognize that you had done this.
This is amazing.
All right, I should probably.
for sins, and this is what you do to him.
All right, I guess I could roll. I don't. What would be a good skill attack here?
You could always fight with somebody.
They recommend survive word on the street.
Well, I know what I want to do.
I'm good. Okay, you go first, then I'll think about it.
So
yeah.
Bryn's goal, the thing he wants to achieve, he wants to impress the clanners. So I'm gonna use blow something up. We're gonna blow up some wreckage in a really cool way.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's what I'm doing. Ooh, nice.
So you can just roll 2d20s and just kind of choose whatever.
Yeah, 2d20s, and you pick one of them, and then you pick the result from either the gain or lose table.
Yep, let's
So
see.
2 and a 6.
2 and a 6. Let me see. Oh man. So, what I think happens is this is incredibly popular. Just everyone's loving it. Bryn is forcefully dragged off to rabble rouse and drink and stuff at the end of this, and he overindulges, and I'm picking 6 from the lost table, And it's like this is like a don't have a choice. Like just people get him drinks. He's like, well, okay. And he parties them too hard.
For
And
reference, D20 or D6 losses pretty much everything in your stomach from the last day or so.
Rest in
And
pepperoni.
he realizes at the end of it, he's maybe getting a little bit too old for this.
I love that one of the things you can lose, by the way, is a knife fight.
Yep, that one was. Oh yeah.
All right. A lot of Quinn's skill triggers are social, and I don't think like charm or get a hold of something, or read a situation, or invent or create, or assault, or get somewhere quickly work. Stay cool and investigate. Maybe.
I mean, I use blow something up, so like. Just
I'd say get a
probably
hold of
just
something.
fine.
Absolutely.
Get a hold of something. All right.
Get a hold of
Uh,
something.
All right.
Yeah.
10.
And
I could add
so
the,
you roll
I could add
1d20.
I could add the 1d6 to it, but even then that wouldn't be enough
It
to change
help
much
ya.
of anything.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
It helped me, but it did not.
Yeah, here we go. $12.
12.
So first, what were you looking for to attain in the?
I'm not exactly sure.
Could you get that?
Yeah, let me take a look at what this even says first off the 12.
I mean, the 12 on the game table is pretty good for Quinn.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. It is so perfect for Quinn. Let me see what the loss on 12 is.
It's just
you don't want the
captors.
loss.
Oh yeah. Nope. Nope.
I,
Well, okay, hey, Jenner, for the thing you're trying to get, you as the player, you could decide on something that Quest have been looking for that she gets. Maybe something that helps her move a bit.
I mean, for
Just-
me, what Quinn was mostly probably looking for is just to try and like feel like family with her family again, right? She's just enjoying being with all of you again. You know, going through all this shit, you know, and then trying to get back into the groove of things.
You know, the thing itself actually says you can look for a good time.
It does.
Perfect.
That sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah.
And you just happen to find a thick data wafer with a carefully curated selection of old Earth gems while you're
Found
at
so
it.
much mixtape.
Yeah.
Found so much mixtape, and gosh, Rasha would have loved this. We'll take it back, and then she'll upload it. So maybe Dad will like it too. So she'll tag Bryn on it as well. This is old people music. Maybe Dad will like it. And she'll upload it.
I'm like
Oh.
35.
All right. Lyra gets into a National Treasure style race across the debris field with a crew of disreputable scavengers with all their own gimmicks. It's an entire anime arc. I'm gonna get somewhere quickly
Ooh.
about this
Gotta go
because
fast.
she is looking for incredibly valuable hardware.
well, you got what you were looking for, but now you
All
have to
right.
face the consequences.
Superb! I was hoping I would fail this. All right,
So 2d20,
Let's see.
you have to pick a result from each table.
I have to take from each table, so let's roll 2d20. Are you ready?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
3 and
3
wow.
and a 2.
1, 2, and 3. We've got it. We've got it, folks. Wombo combo.
All right.
Great.
Oh my god! Yeah, I think 3 from the game, 2 from the loss is probably your best bet on this one.
I fucking hate you guys. I mean, the horrible truth is that you're right. They go together too well. I want to do another one, but it's too narratively perfect.
I mean, 3 on both ends is also pretty good.
I think that this whole this entire JoJo arc of like Spaceball run through through the wreckage, and we finally find something. We finally find the wreckage of an old cruiser that would have had this actual part, and the only thing I can find on it is this large canister of slick, vibrant purple liquid labeled all-purpose lubricant.
Yes.
My opponents, having been beaten, enacted their revenge by making sure that they had pictures of me finding this. I crawl back, my dignity shattered, not without the thing in hand, all the way back to the mood, where someone who has seen me acquire this offers to trade me some dumb computer thing they found for whatever this is, because it's way cooler than what they have. Lyra says sure, and ends up with military-grade targeting computer hardware.
Nice.
Was it worth it? Probably not.
So Juicy K is in fact not here. We did not, in fact, pick Juicy K.
No, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was the one who wound up with a 20, which means Scarlet could keep her 19.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I achieved Juicy K.
That's good because I'm not putting the
I
bug
think
away.
that, like, Sylvia's relationship with Juicy K is basically, after a certain point, it starts off actually fairly good because Juicy K is from the Rim, and she's also from the Rim, and there's like a little bit of bonding, and they're kind of going on until he starts getting weirdly kind of like clingy and starts going like, yeah, I really like you. I like the way, I've heard about the splatter. The what? The splatter. You let some guy's head. And it's at this point that she realizes she's picked up a fan who thinks she's a serial killer.
This is like the adoring fan from Oblivion, isn't
Yep.
it?
Oh my god, it is!
Oh my god.
I've never played Oblivion, so I don't know what you all are referencing, but I want to.
It's great. And by great, I mean, not really, but yeah.
Yeah, so at a certain point, she realizes he's following them. Sylvia is actually, like, flipping a coin, considering, like, is it better to spool up the ship killer weapon to blow him away? Save himself? Or is it, like, just vindicating everything he sees me as?
Well, Bryn would not allow this man on the station whatsoever.
We always
Yet he will shoot at him if he tries to board.
Yeah, Sylvia just, like, kind of goes like, don't acknowledge him? Don't look at him for too long? I've told him all of you are stone cold killers? Don't argue with him about it, because if he decides you aren't, I don't think he's entirely stable, and he's definitely high.
Well, cool. Let's lock the doors when we get inside, please.
Oh, hey, though before we go, you know who hasn't rolled? Coriander,
Come on,
who is also
Coriander.
looking for a good time.
Oh no.
Coriander has no goals. Natural 20, though.
Yeah, Coriander!
Oh my god!
That's too much.
All right, well-
Here's where you're wasting all your good rolls, Refner.
Yeah, I'm just getting fucking blank 20s.
Hey,
Go me.
you guys say that as if Coriander does not have a lot of experience carousing. I mean, we did get literally like banned from going back to a planet together.
I got a 20 and a 1. Jesus
So
Christ.
proud of you.
This is incredible.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, let's see.
No.
Can he even get it? Can Coriander even
You
get
have
a
20 or 1 from either table.
Oh my, none of these are good because I got the 20 from Isadora, so that's
Hold on.
redundant.
Hold on. I say re-roll if you got the same thing.
Alternatively, how would Coriander get banned from a clannership?
Alternatively, could Coriander possibly experience a splitting headache?
No one knows how, but it
No
happens.
consequences.
Oh my god, Faye just go in and then just take her. I've experienced something new, and I hate it.
Coriander will remember this.
I will choose splitting headache, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do humans have to deal with this all the time?
Null shrugs and says, "At least it's affecting you." Null spends a lot of her time with Coriander, learning from Coriander how to be an entity from this universe.
I'm going to declare that this sucks. In the future, I will avoid this headache.
Now,
You just like hear like Bryn throwing up in the background.
now that you have learned, now that if you measured the exact amount that it took, you know to stay under that from now on, says Null.
I don't even know what I took, to be completely honest.
Null will can do some. Do you want us to find out? We could like do a quick scan and see exactly at what point you crossed the line.
It is better to leave this whole situation as just a weird mystery.
Yeah. Null accepts that and helps Faye get back into the Idolith and chill out and keep them hydrated. Keep Faye hydrated. Null has learned.
Sylvia just kind of like.
We did it. We bonded.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of like turns around and goes like, "So, how'd y'all enjoy Long Rim life for a day?"
Bryn's looking a little green on the gills. And he's like, he has like a big coffee, and he's like, he has like sunglasses on.
Somehow Juicy K got on the Flavor Town, but it's okay.
No, Bryn will shoot him.
The moment he comes in, Sylvia will literally just like slam like quarantine doors shut and go like, "We'll deal with him in a minute."
Just explosively decompress him off the station.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Launch him out of an airlock.
He probably just longs for death.
Not in the mood, Sylvia.
Hey, no one's asked me about long rim life.
I mean, Coriander had a great time until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Well, same with Bryn. Yes.
My reputation as a lawyer has been ruined forever, so it was okay.
Sylvia just
This
like
one?
patting Lyra on the shoulder. There.
This is an interesting experience that allowed me to learn the fundamental differences between myself and the average human, and quite frankly, I like being an NHP with a synthetic body, actually. It's pretty
Must be
good.
nice.
Zadora's just like, well, I got some very easy info, so I'm going to be contacting Svava again.
Mm-hmm. Quinn said.
Actually, no. Thinking about it, Svava would probably already know like as much info from that as she needed, because that's stuff that was on the ship. But the Ashai, on the other hand,
Yeah, I mean Hyrule and your wife and her cohort are trying to chase down Meliora. So yeah, they have not stuck around.
here, have a free hit list. All right, talk to you later.
You're the best wife ever. Can you believe my wife got me a hit list? What have your significant others done for you lately? Gosh. What is she gonna get up for the golden anniversary? A longer hit list? We'll never know.
Oh, now you need like a weapon
Yeah.
to enact the hits. They gotta escalate.
Mm-hmm. Issa's very excited. she's first excited that they could even talk as briefly as they're able to, but then excited with the information. It lets you know that you don't just exist as a resource for her to tap. She likes tapping you other ways too, and then she'll hang up with a wink. Quinn, I'll have to think about like what they'll get back to you with this on, because basically Issa's gonna have to have Joanne and Ferio go over it, because they're the tech nerds who can go over that kind of stuff. She's the make things go explodey, and S is the computer person, but not like that kind of computer person. So yeah, in terms of like just going over boring fucking data, that's where Ferio and Joanne shine. So once she decodes this, figures out what there is, she'll get back to y'all. She's just excited to get this. It's kind of neat that this thing can reach across the entire freaking galaxy. So, yeah. Quinn has been has uploaded it. She's been listening to the jazz. It's several hours long, at least. She's been listening to it from beginning to... Well, she's still listening to it now, actually. It's been a couple hours. How long is this thing? It's very long. It's nice jazz. Smooth jazz. It's like, there's like that, wasn't there that meme that was like, instead of like this horrible, torturous thing, we're just going to be playing smooth jazz for the next 15 minutes over a black screen? I think there was like a meme to that effect at some point, I forget. But yeah, I think it was a Freakazoid thing, right? And instead, smooth jazz will be being played.
Yeah, it would play like a calming, like it would like a calming feel of like gentle music or something, instead of like the screaming and scary thing that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the bit was called, but I remember that from one of those episodes.
Yeah. So Quinn is happy to share the smooth jazz with all of you. For the most part, she just she's either up in her room or socializing with all of you, or she's in the mech bay, like just sitting in Null's cockpit, listening to Null talk to her. She's trying to interact with all of you the way she used to. But
so then Quinn would notice that Bryn like disappears for like several hours in the matchmaker. And he stumbles into the hangar bay. Like he's still not feeling great. And he just like puts in a USB drive, just printing something. Just like sits like leans to the wall and like kind of stands there like make a new mech.
She will slide out, like pat the chair that she sits in the mech, and slide out of whatever shape the mech currently is in, since it's in a constantly undulating mess of chaos over there. And bring a glass of cold water over to Bryn, and pat the smell of his back and hand it over to him.
I'll be fine. Just I can't imbibe like I used to when I was I was about to say your age, but that's not true. That's too young.
I'm kind of curious, once we catch up to this other me Null's been telling me about, if I'll age to whatever they've been doing or not.
I don't think that's how it works.
Null refuses.
I don't think
to
this is
tell
like
me how it works.
I don't think this is like a you touch your duplicate and you both annihilate each other situation. I think that's just a different person who's here now. So I don't think you're gonna age like a million years or nothing. I mean, I hope not, but this is all nonsense.
It's all theoretical. She takes a sip. And I'm kind of curious to see what this me is like.
Well, to be honest, it kind of sounds like she sucks.
Oh,
Unlike you, who does not suck.
I have my moments. What you printing?
New mech. I'm getting kind of tired of just shooting fire everything all the time. I'm looking for a change.
Can't wait to see it in action.
I hope it doesn't turn like the last time I changed Max.
You know, the Reverse had a lot going for it, and a lot of what was going
No,
for
no,
it
that was not Everest. That was fine. It was what was it called? What's in roster here?
the God, I forgot what you called it. Begins with a C, right?
No, like the Conflagrant is my normal mech. I use it
Okay.
all the time.
The Lead Wing.
That's the one. That's the one I'm making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a Ruby Gleam that took the Tokugawa because it exposed itself, and I
Yeah.
blew it up, and I blew up real bad. Took double damage.
So what Quinn says is, look, the Tokugawa had a lot going for it, but a lot of what was going for it was being on fire.
Well, yes. Well, this one's a little dodgier than my normal mech. And, no big gun. It's just a lot of small guns. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be fine.
When my biofather hired you to take me on, what did you want out of the deal?
That's I mean, at the time, this was like this guy tells me what to do and I do it kind of thing. You understand? Like, oh, sure on.
He had that relationship with a lot of people, me included.
Yes. Well, I guess he picked the wrong guy on that one, didn't he?
She smiles. I hope he realizes that. It was the worst mistake he's ever made.
Yes. I was trying to think of something pithy to say to that, but I couldn't think of anything. But yes, it was.
What did you want out of life?
Well, I mean, originally, a distinguished military career with no kinds of like dishonorable discharges and a pension, I guess. But instead I got this, and that's okay. Also like, a stable marriage, but like that didn't work out. So
there's still people. There's other fish in the galaxy. She jumps up onto the printer. At least you stayed with your wife longer than 6 hours. You did better than me. She takes another sip of her drink of water.
Well, don't go having a kid to know about, I guess. That'd be cool. As your guardian, I would like that.
What was that you said? I'm sorry.
To not happen. I said, but don't go having a child you don't know above 20 years as your guardian. I would like that not to happen. That'd be fine. He just kind of avoids the other part by deflecting with humor.
She chuckles and says, I don't think any of that happened. I don't know where I'll be going from here, but when all this is, according to what I've researched on the archives, on all these old forums and whatever, kids my age complaining about adults asking them where they see themselves in 10 years, and I figured it'd be fun to turn the question around on you. Where do you see yourself after all this is over? Where would you like to be?
What a question. Well, listen, Quinn. The secret that adults don't tell you is they generally don't have an answer to that either.
So you're just crowdsourcing us for ideas.
That's not quite it. It's an aspirational question to get you thinking about it. Is what it is. I mean, my life is fine now. I mean, it'd be cool if I was in less mortal peril now and then, but like a little bit's fine. That's the lifestyle I'm living now, I guess.
I'd like that too.
Mm. It'd be cool if we were just like, fighting pirates and not like fighting a proxy war
I
or just a regular war, depending where we are.
I didn't. I don't think you knew what you were signing up for, and I thought I knew what you were signing up for, and I'm glad I was wrong about you. I figured
Well,
you were just going to. You just existed to bore and disappoint me until I went home to be a good.
I mean, I can do that too. I do that all the time, but
But you didn't treat me. Well, you do treat me like a kid, but you didn't treat me like a kid like he treated me like a kid. You let me come along and shoot things with my mech. So, thanks for letting me do things my way. And they didn't always work out for me, but what I wanted was what I had. I don't know how to get it back.
well, it's a process, I guess. Anyway, you want to go? Let's go shoot stuff in my mech. It's just done. Hey, look at it. It has so many guns on it.
You gotta paint
But they're just like they're just like. Oh right, okay. Go get the spray paint.
she'll get the spray paint and hand it over to Bryn. What color are you painting it? We gotta put the mural on it.
Well, he's going in military green on this one.
Okay, fine.
But look, it's got a cloak. That's not necessary. I put that on there.
I given you a point for fashion, Dad. +1 fashion. She grins. Yeah, she'll go out and do a couple skirmishes with you. There's
Just shooting asteroids.
if there's something weird with Null in here, it has like presence, like the Pokemon. It carries a weight, even in like the virtual space. That's palpable.
No, we just go outside, like shoot some asteroids.
Oh well, it still has presence like a Pokemon. It's like you're standing next to a Palkia.
I feel like whenever I'm near Null, I feel like I'm getting into a black hole.
Yeah.
But I'm not moving.
Yeah. Noel apologizes, but it's just they apologize for she apologizes for failing the vibe check. Quinn thinks it's pretty cool that you can shoot 1 billion guns on one turn. It's very good. This is a Tonberry kind of thing you got going on. Cactar, not Tonberry. Cactar. They're a Final Fantasy enemy that just shoot like 10,000 needles at you.
I mean, it is until one of the shots gets really big all at once. You'll see.
She's looking forward to seeing it. I think I'm going to ask everybody else what they want to. I've been thinking a lot about it. I might not have been able to get what I wanted. But it doesn't mean that y'all can't get what you wanted. Or maybe I can find my answers there.
Bryn, there's things he wants to say, but he can't yet.
Yep.
You should ask you should also once you ask Noel what they want.
What she wants? Yeah, I should.
Oh.
You're your own person, Noel. Do you have wants? And Noel like makes like a garbled noise and says that she does have wants. But she's still sorting them out. She's still sorting her wants out.
Bryn slips away.
Yep. But Quinn will come pester each and every single one of you to get your answer to this pressing 16-year-old question of where do you see yourself after the war? What do you want for yourselves? So I guess she will go and find Sylvia first. Sylvia and Lyra, I guess, are together. Y'all still there?
Yeah,
we're still here.
Yeah, okay. Now I can hear you guys.
Yeah. Are we still there, or do you think Sylvia and Lyra are hanging together? Rather.
You know what? Yeah.
So where
Yeah, I
where
think-
does Quinn and Noel wander on to you two?
I think. It's been a while since you've run into Sylvia doing garage things.
Mhm.
Sylvia's going to be working on converting that big old prow spike into the tip of her new hammer.
Yeah. Since Bryn has skulked off after drawing Quinn's attention to Noel, so when Noel and Quinn land back in here, and Noel promises Quinn that she'll tell her as soon as she has the answers for herself, and Quinn just accepts that with a nod and a pat, and says she's lucky enough to get that. She'll turn and look over at Sylvia, and wave, "Hey."
Yo! And Sylvia will kind of like let herself down with her little four-limbed mobility suit from the top of her neck where she's been kind of welding something. You still holding up okay?
No, but let's pretend I am.
I can work with that. Do you want to help with the repairs here?
I was
Work
just
kind of gets my mind off stuff.
I was just gonna watch the expert and pry you with questions to fuck up your progress, actually.
That works too. Hey, hun, and she's calling up to Lyra with that. Can you keep an eye on that weld job and make sure it doesn't start to separate? This is the first time I've done a mod this extensive for one of the manufacturer weapons.
I could be out doing that. I will make sure that your weld does not unweld.
Thank you, Han. I love you. All right, what can I do for you?
Well, I guess I'll ask the question to both of you. You can hear me up there, right, Lyra?
I hear all things.
So, where do you two see yourselves after the war? Assuming there's an end to this war.
Are we going somewhere after it?
Well, I mean, are you?
I could. I guess theoretically, now that I've dealt with Smart Brain, I could go anywhere. I've always wanted to go to Spari, so I'll probably visit there once. Maybe some of the rest of the bits of Union Space I've heard about, but end of the day, the only places I've ever called home are here in the Rim, and if I could, I'd like to stay here a little longer. What about you, Lyra?
Yeah. Being a mercenary was interesting, but I will find jobs. So I will go wherever you go, and I will find a job wherever you end up. You'd be surprised how easy it is to be hired when your skills are in mech repair and mining equipment operation. I still have my certification, you know.
You really kept that with that? Oh god, do I still have all of my licenses kept up? And Sylvia will suddenly have this like moment of like, did I send my paperwork to the space DMV horror?
Quinn smiles and says, I hope if we ever get things into some semblance of sane again, that you'll be able to travel the galaxy like this and get up to all the no good that you want to get up to.
I'll tell you what I do want more than anything.
I'm listening.
Well, I've kind of decided if there's one thing I want out of this, and I do not want you to interpret this as a death wish, I want to die in the saddle. And Sylvia's just going to like pat her mech affectionately. I used to think everything that happened to me was something that had stolen most of my life, but since coming out here and meeting all of you, dealing with everything we've dealt with, this is the first time it's felt like my life meant something. So I want to keep fighting as long as I can. There are always going to be people who need help, and there are always going to be problems that can't be solved by anything but the judicious application of one GMS Everest with a big ol' hammer. Besides, if I quit this gig, I think Kopesh wouldn't have anywhere to go.
I'd like
Her specialties are getting angry and smashing.
I'd like a world in a universe with a little bit less fighting, but no zero fighting. I do think that would be a little boring sometimes.
Look, people are always going to have a reason to fight, even if it's just because they want to see. I mean, remember when we went to visit the Common Front when I took that bullet for Corandir?
I do. That was
We
stupid.
went there to take part in the competition.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would go back there and do it again. I think that was rad as hell.
I think that suits you. I think that kind of stuff would be more up my alley too. I think Russia would have wanted the same. To have kept finding causes to throw herself into.
I don't know that it's so much that I need a cause as, well, this is who I am. I'm a pilot. I'm a Lancer.
I mean, I am a human, but I understand what you mean.
For me, I don't think there's much of a distinction between those two things. My world's pretty neatly divided between you guys and everyone else.
For me, it
You know,
is.
I really need that soldering iron. I should probably get back up there.
Yeah. Thank you for your honest answers. I mean, for me, it's not a whether or not there will be fighting isn't something up for question. Whether or not there'll be periods where the fighting stops. That's more what I'm looking for. As much as I want you to be able to continue to fight, I'd like there to be a place where you can rest too.
That's what we're fighting for.
Yeah. It's what we were fighting for.
Aren't you still fighting for it?
Yeah. I am still fighting for it. I'm gonna go bother Isadora now. I'm gonna ask her the
Good
same
luck.
obnoxious question. You built this
It's
from...
not that obnoxious.
You built this from the mech Russia was riding? It looks good.
Part of it. I tried to save as much as I could, actually. You already have most of the pertinent pieces I could have given you, but I did save one thing. And Sylvia will vanish behind a little pile of scrap she keeps in the corner and haul out a big old chunk that just... It's very obviously one of the servo joints. It's the only one, it's mostly intact, but there's obvious damage, and she kind of sets it down. I don't know if you're planning on switching up your mech again, and I didn't want to hand this over while you were piloting Null, since, well, kind of hard to install anything on something that keeps changing shape. But if you ever switch over to a model I do know the ins and outs of, I'm pretty sure this was the Lance delivery servo. I could stick it onto a mount for you.
If it comes to that, let's lay it out there because I think I would like that a lot. The mech that Russia piloted on that mission, and the one that she hijacked and drove off to her death in, those weren't exactly her mech. They were mechs that were given to her, that she grew fond of, but they're not the mech that she fought with. Issa's trying to find that. And if she does, then I'll have use for that part.
Sounds good. Hey, Quinn? Take care of yourself, okay?
No. Then she'll walk out.
That wasn't a request! Kids. Sylvia will return to soldering because she knows at this point arguing with a 16-year-old is not going to help.
Come March, she'll be 17. It'll be great. Quinn will go hunt down Isadora. Where's Isadora hiding?
Isadora, of course, is just in Coriander's room,
Gah.
where one of her other computers are.
Burp. Stop stalking me. I guess ding dong knock knock. Is there a bell?
I mean, there isn't, but the fact that you're looking around back there, Isadora just looks back and is like, ah, so this time you want to knock, hmm?
I mean, I Kramered in last time because it was juicy. Hi. This is a knock for then. She knocks on the door, and here's a knock for now. And she knocks again.
Alright, but just wait until I calculate the interest for the last knock. I think you're in trouble for that one.
Oh no, the fines. How will I ever pay them?
Anyway, do you need something, Quinn, or are you just stopping by to say hi?
I actually don't know if it's a need. I had a question I wanted to ask you. Mind if I
Go
come in?
ahead. Sure. There's not much seating room, but Coriander probably won't mind if you sat on one of those servers, right?
Yep.
Coriander's just like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they'll just sit there. Noel just leans back against the counter with her arms crossed across her chest, trying to look cool. She always wants Coriander to think that she's cool. Noel is very insecure like that. Quinn looks to Isadora and says, so, assuming we can actually get this universe in some semblance of not like this, peace, less war, less gestures. What would you want to see for yourself? Like, where do you see yourself after the war? What kind of world do you want for you?
I think, as always, I'm not really just going to be on a single planet. Before, I was traveling through the galaxy by myself, and then with the crew of the Aetolith, and after this, I think we'll go our separate ways, and I don't know if Issa's interested in staying in Overture and helping out the Hex girls, but if she is, I guess I'll be here. If not, then I'll see what the galaxy has in store for me.
I can't speak much for her, and I don't speak to her as often as probably you do. I suspect she'll want to be wherever you want to be. So if you want to be running around the galaxy universe, pulling heists and whatever, I suspect that's where she'll be living her best life too.
Well, I think she's slightly more of the thrill seeker, so the actual caliber of our work may vary. I'm just interested in movement, I suppose. Though, to be frank, I suppose once we're all over and done here, if the Emerald Gate's still around, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to return to Earth for a little while longer. Or Cradle, she would say. She would call it Cradle.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm used to talking about this sort of things, Lionel.
Yep.
I'd go back to Cradle.
Yeah, well, I think that would blow Issa's mind. I've heard tale of Cradle. I've never seen it outside of pictures. Maybe I'll take a look in one day too. I guess for me, what I wanted to let you know is what my hope is, which is that we're able to together create in this universe a tiny pocket where people can always come to relax, where it's not so gesture as it tends to be anywhere else. If we can just make one spot in the universe that isn't constant misery, suffering, hell, where people can come and kick their feet up, then it'll all have been worth it. Not to say that there won't be moments where there's head bashing and fists flying here, but not to the same extent as it has been.
Well, Quinn, the good news is there are places like that in the universe, you know, not... I know earlier I said just about anywhere could be attacked by Harrison, and that's true, but there are a lot of planets that maybe aren't perfect. One of the advantages of Overture is just how many Gaia worlds there are here, but even when life's a bit of a struggle, when it becomes routine, it's fine. Even in a more restrictive sort of planet with a hazardous atmosphere, you can find bases that are calm. They get their routine, and when they're done doing their work, they can just continue to exist.
I'm not exactly sure that's the kind of place I had in mind. Moreover, I'd rather take something that was kinda sorta mine in the first place than go and make it what I want it to be, than go someplace else that wasn't ever mine and make it
Of
what I want it to
course.
be.
I'm just saying, it's not an impossibility to make Overture a more peaceful place. I just think you get trapped here sometimes. You can only see the conflicts here, but there are good places in the universe. But, that being said, I'm absolutely not opposed to making more of them. Normally I would have just passed up a place like Overture. Arriving here, it was just all chaos all the time. But it's because of you and the others just being you that I was intrigued enough to keep taking piloting jobs for you, and now I actually feel like I can make a difference. So, thank you.
Well, I was just one of the many parts that happened to fall together this rotation. Null said you were actually rarely part of this crew, so I'm glad I got to meet you this time.
Well then, I guess it's true. I in that case, I can't deny that apparently I do usually leave.
I hope this isn't taken away from you. She'll drop back down off of the counter. I don't want that, and I'll do what I can to prevent it.
If Quinn leaves first, Isidore is just gonna look at Null like, God, can we tell her soon, please?
Null's like,
Just that knowing look of like, this sucks. I want to do something. I know I can't, but I want to.
There was a reason why Bryn said they and not she, because there's two people there.
Yeah.
It's plural.
yeah. Null frowns a lot, and actually you can see like Null like internally conversing with herself since the two of them are in there. And then Null looks back over at you and speaks for the two of them and says, "This isn't especially easy for either of us. We don't want this either. I think we're almost there. This is a war that she's fighting for herself. And it's scary, but if we ruin it for her, then she'll never know she could have done it for herself. She'll always have that doubt."
I can't deny that logic. Let's just finish this up as soon as we can. We've got a whole lot of info on Deliverance now. We should be just about ready to track them down.
As soon as you know, as soon as your wife Issa gets back to you with what they've got, yeah. The last scan we got, it made it look like she was this is Meliora, was jumping from place to place to place, I'd just like to try and get ahead of her, if possible. But the thing is, it's not like... And at this, like, Null's visor, like, the expression on Null's visor blanks for a moment, but then comes back on. It's not like just killing Meliora is going to make everything stop. This is a corruption that, you know, has entrenched itself. It's a system, you know, it's an institution, and it's the fighting will continue from there to get all of it out. But getting rid of Meliora will help a lot. At least make us feel better.
Yeah, well, no offense to you two. I also feel bad for you. However, you are the ones who actually know the truth, so I would just like the Meliora business to be done, so she can feel better.
I don't like her suffering like this either. Neither of us do. We didn't want this for her. And, like, then you hear, like, Rasha's voice just say, I was so stupid. And then Noel, like, stands up and pats their own chest and says, we're all stupid sometimes. And then looks back over to you. Soon. It's always soon. We can't be that then. We can only be this now. But it is in this now that we pursue the then. And then Noel shrugs and heads out. Quinn's gonna go hang out in her gamer space and play DDR.
Oh.
Did you know that HRT is performance enhancing drug for rhythm games? It's true.
That's news to me.
No, I got worse.
No.
Got no rhythm.
No, you're too white. No amount of HRT can fix it.
I mean, I am Dutch.
No. That explains so much. Does anybody else have
Now, if
non-depressing
you'll
stuff?
excuse me, I'll be stealing your spice trade.
Yes, perfect. Oh, S Nut Issa gets back to you, and largely because S just wants this done. He doesn't want you two fucking flirting and playing grab ass for the next 3 hours. So your wife time has been limited for the purposes of getting this shit done. So S will get back to you, Isadora, on what they've uncovered from the data that you found. S is impressed. Like, how the hell did you even find this? This was like super decrypted, but you had all actually kind of found it already in like a semi-open state. Like basically like the stormtrooper who had just logged in and then the place blew up, right? Who just ran away from the console. So they were able
Yeah.
to...
I just went into the Death Scythe for scrap, but then me and Sylvia found, like, actual data, and nobody cared about the data.
So what they've basically found here is kind of what I have told you previously, but it really does help narrow it down, which is that Meliora is sending out proxy selves of herself to different areas to try and draw the heat there. Like, Meliora was definitely spotted here, right, in this system, or in this system, or in this system, but they're just those proxy selves that they have, right, and like trying to single down this Meliora, and so it's through process of elimination, it's only a matter of time before they figure out where exactly she's fucking running to. And it looks like the next place that she has to stop to refuel is Ishvaln. It's a planet down in the southern western part of Deliverance space, which is where, by the way, a lot of the revolting, like, Deliverance has lost a lot of territory in that area. I'll have to update the map for you, but as you remember, like, it had been encroaching out a lot, and now it has like holes in it, like Swiss cheese, all over the place from where planets have broken free and are fighting back against Deliverance. And so, in order to get here, Meliora is going to have to cross a length of space that is not held by her anymore to get to this place, to refuel, to keep going wherever the hell it is she's thinking she's going to try to escape to. Looks like she's trying to get to a gate. That's to just basically flee the fucking galaxy. So that's what S can tell you. So that's where the next mission will be taking place is outside this fuel refueling station on Ishvaln. The next Deliverance mission will be there. So yeah. So that's what S tells you, and she says she'll keep piecing out this information, but it's old information, but it basically shows all the little, it's basically like all the little tunnels that Meliora has been using to get here and there. So it really does help them kind of figure out what her planned operation might be, right? Where her warrens are, so to speak, and what routes she can take to get any which way, and who her friends still are in the galaxy. So it's very useful. So kudos. Your wife is very proud of you. She says begrudgingly and then hangs up very quickly because fuck this. She's gonna go.
Isadora calls back. Hey, tell Issa that she's doing a good job out there. And let's see, XOXOXO.
S is
Make sure to get it
scowling.
exactly like that,
Scowling.
or the message just won't come through correctly. So just so you know.
Oh, it's some kind of code, right?
It's some kind of code. S scowls and takes the message down, and then will hang up and then challenge Sylvia and Lyra to more fights in the matchmaker because this sucks. she's gonna go get in sexy fights with hot girls instead of deal with this fucking shit.
Yeah, Kanto's always in there,
Yeah?
just hanging out. She does have a job.
Yeah. I'm sure S and her are just getting so many fights because S has got that bloodthirst. All right, so that's I'll have to get that map together, but it's not my turn. The next I think actual fighting mission is going to be run by Fefner. And
Yep.
I think after you, Fefner, then it's me.
I think so, yeah.
And then I believe after me it's you again. And then-
Maybe I think after that we can just
Yeah.
choose whatever for that rotation.
Yep. Okay. We're getting to the end though, folks. I do as far as I'm aware, the next mission is fighting Vadim because you already fought Athena, and the final the final mission is fighting. I think you already fought the cat lady, didn't you? You may have to fight the cat lady. And then you have to then you get to beat up.
I'll figure it
Meliora.
out.
So yeah, I'm hype. Wow, we have so much time left. Feel free to fart around, I guess. This is a really quick
I can do an
Groundhog session.
outro, but
Yeah.
if anybody else wants to do something, they can.
I think I'm pretty much good with what we got.
I like outros. That sounds very official.
Mhm.
All right, so unless Bryn's got something he wants to do.
Nope, I do all the things I wanted to do already.
All right, so I guess we'll just get our briefing for next mission out of the way then. That way we can just do a whole lot of social at the start of next one. So
Mhm.
it doesn't take too much longer, probably just a couple days for Lionel to get back to you. And he says, okay, well then. Unfortunately, Athena's forces haven't really been able to help out the main war still, because Irina keeps slowing everything down to the best of her abilities, to put it politely. We need to figure out some sort of way to remove her and gain the upper hand in this battle. Of course, General Argento is primed and ready for when we do have a little more freedom to work around with, but until that happens, I have a bit of an idea. We need more resources, both I and your organization. So, I figure it's a bad idea to let the corporations do whatever they want, so we're going to gain one of them as a resource. Whether that's strictly as a resource or ally, that's up to them. I know the exact person to choose as well.
Which corporation?
Lionel just cracks his knuckles. Okay, so obviously IPSN is out. They are, I would say, fanatic and have absolutely pledged their support to Deliverance even now. Harrison Armory, although fairly silent, has clearly been sending invasion forces, especially towards the Common Front, so we can expect them to be enemies as well. Of course, GMS is the most neutral of the companies here, but they have almost no presence whatsoever.
And also are like a part of Union, basically.
Yeah, like, there were GMS people sent over to this region, but, like, they do not have the resources compared to everybody else, given they are separated. So, that just leaves one company left. Well, I suppose, technically Horus, but I don't know what the hell they're doing. I just keep hearing weird rumors, so just assume they're worthless.
Wow.
Anyway, yes. SSN. SSN is currently being run by Garth Wolf, the son of Gabriel Wolf.
Oh, the dude my
Who was-
parents tried to hook me up with? Ah!
I forget if Lionel... You know what, you probably read about that to him that night, so he's like, oh, right. Oh, God, I forgot about that. Yeah. Gabriel was the original head of SSN when the company originally arrived in Overture, and ran it more or less how you would expect, much like everyone else. However, he had two sons, one of whom was arrested for insider trading, while Gabriel himself had fallen ill and died, leaving only Garth to run the company. He has clearly shown that out of all of them, he does not care for Deliverance, but that's because he's fairly selfish. But it's a selfishness that you could perhaps turn in your favor. He does good work. Not exactly the most ethical work from what I can tell, but you could find value in him, or alternatively, if things go south, if Garth were to vanish, I don't think anyone would care as much, because both IPSN and Harrison do have Deliverance ties, so going to SSN is the best way to go in without retaliation, and perhaps we could get Garth under a watchful eye.
I'm not marrying him.
You're
I
not
don't
marrying him.
think he wants to marry you either. Again, very selfish.
Well, just make it clear though, no marriage.
Yeah. I'm already married.
Of course. There won't be marriage. And quite frankly, if he actually sprang a proposal on you, I feel like that's cause enough, or that falls under going south, so... this time around, I'm not going to be able to pay you nearly as much as even the last missions, but, while I'm sure Athena could make use of the resources of SSN, if it comes down to the question of who inherits some of this company, I believe the Hex Girls are in a good enough position to take that, so
Run a company. Wait, I'm running a company now. Oh no!
Yep.
this is. I'm aware this isn't our usual sort of deal, and I don't think this is the thing you normally take, but it would be very much a to the victor go the spoils situation.
We can turn it into a workers' co-op, right?
I don't see why not.
Hell yeah. I'm kind of over this capitalism thing, Lionel.
Yeah, I wasn't super keen on it before, and then I saw an entire society destroyed by it. So yeah, not keen on it.
Had a good run. That's not true. It didn't have a good run.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It had a run that fucking sucked.
Yeah, nothing good.
Didn't improve when it went into space.
Space was supposed to be the only place not ruined by it.
You know, we're probably going to be opposed to doing this. And there's a chance your childhood friend will be there. I'll try and send her back to you in one piece.
Ah, yes. Cinder, of course. I do apologize, even though I know about that beforehand. I don't think I'll be able to pay extra for that circumstance should it arrive.
Don't worry about the money. What I would like is for you to stop looking so much like shit. Get some rest before Velius beats us up for the condition you're in.
Don't worry. Honestly, after that short break, I've been improving a little bit.
Did
I
you
mean,
get that thing
look-
I sent you?
I'm wearing proper pants.
Did you get the thing Bryn sent you?
What was that again?
The booze.
The booze?
That's right. Oh yes. I've not broken into that yet, but I will when I hear the good news after the mission.
No, it's medicinal. It'll do good for you. And he winks.
Well, I suppose I should be in better health then. Regardless, we never spoke here.
Lionel,
Handle this at your own discretion, and after this, we'll talk about the Irina situation.
Lionel,
Yes?
that planet we were going to relax at had everything gone down correctly. How we wanted it to. On Blair. Temperance. Is it still a place somebody could flee to?
It is.
I'll send her there.
Alright. They're not idle, but I'm sure they have ropes.
Maybe she's into it. Lyra, was she into it? Was she into being tied up since you fucked her?
Shrug.
Sylvia just kind of like stares at Quinn and goes like, maybe I should handle this one.
I'll give you the location to Temperance. I figure if we aim it, if we load her in a cannon, right, and we aim it, we can shoot her. Isaac Newton will carry her there.
Hypothetically,
I mean,
yes.
You could just get a space shuttle. Isaac Newton is not the god of
literally
space. His rules have no bearing on success or failure in the cold void of space.
Actually, Noel raises her finger to like explain that actually space is very weird, but then stops herself when all of you look at her. Don't. Quinn smiles and says, "Well, Sylvia, here's my deal for you. You go ahead and give it a shot. But if you need help, I'll join. I'll help you out.
No problem.
I'm gonna be honest. I've about had it with having already lost somebody like this who was precious to me with this demeanor. I'm over it. Well, I shouldn't say it's not like they're a copy paste of each other, but it's similar enough that I'm so over it. Not this time. Not this fucking time.
It's weird. 3 factions, and all of them involve some sort of rowdy fight lady who just will not stop.
Must be a coincidence.
Sylvia just like cracks her neck and goes like, "It'll be fine. Look, if she doesn't want to communicate, she doesn't want to communicate, and I'll do my best to get her to come around. Worst case scenario, I'll just tell her I used to come from a raiding town and let her duke it out with me."
Quinn moves to the door and she says, when S quoted Thomas Sankara at me, I about pissed myself. As she doesn't even know who he is. But maybe she wasn't wrong to quote him. And maybe you're right, Sylvia. Just as she was. Sometimes no amount of talking is going to get through to somebody. Sometimes the only way you can get through to somebody is by kicking their fucking ass.
Lancers are ill at ease, and we communicate through our fists. And Sylvia just like winks and goes like, it does a little shrug and goes like, just me? Okay, Quinn got it.
I got it. S would have gotten it too. I think Russia could have beaten me up, but maybe we'll have better luck with Cinder. See y'all in the mission.
Yeah, so before we go, not long later, you are given a meeting place from Garth. This particular planet is where he's based at, is a very snowy, mountainous planet. And just as a forewarning, you might want to have good movement for this one. Just throwing that out there.
So,
Perfect.
yep.
I'll be prepared.
The amount of time that has passed now, Fef, I would say we're probably around mid to late January at this point in universe. Just so we're clear. So a couple months have passed since Russia's, or not a couple months, but like almost a month has passed since Russia's birthday. So, yeah. So, yeah, getting there.
All right, so y'all got your orders for next time. Your orders of shrug, do something in this general direction. So we'll see how that unfolds next time.
Quinn lays in bed, bouncing a ball off the ceiling, with Noel laying in bed next to her, trying to catch the ball and just destroying the reality of physics to make the ball just float in air, and doing all sorts of eldritch horror nonsense. And this is fine, actually. See you all for the next big mission. I hope the dice are nice to us. I'm gonna stop recording. Bye.
Hello.
I'm sure it'll be fine.